Declassified CIA files expose decades of sky poisoning. The government's own documents prove they've been manipulating our atmosphere. With skies increasingly filled with lingering white trails that spread into unnatural haze, and extreme weather events growing more frequent and severe, once classified U.S. government documents from the mid-1960s have resurfaced to confirm a disturbing reality. They are poisoning the skies. These files, declassified by the CIA in 2003 and now receiving renewed attention in public discussion and media reports, reveal high-level plans to deliberately manipulate atmospheric conditions for strategic and military advantage. An 18-page 1965 intelligence report lays out weather modification efforts in chilling detail and carries a direct endorsement from then-President Lyndon B. Johnson. In a September 1965 letter included in the report, Johnson called the work vitally important. This came after his 1962 public declaration, "He who controls the weather will control the world." The documents expose Cold War-era determination to dominate environmental manipulation ahead of the Soviets. The historical record is unmistakable. Project Storm Fury, early 1960s to 1983, sent aircraft to seed hurricanes with silver iodide in attempts to alter storm paths and intensity. Operations targeted storms like Hurricane Betsy in 1965, with officials claiming success in steering weather systems. Operation Popeye, 1967 to 1972, went further into overt warfare. U.S. Air Force planes sprayed silver iodide, and according to documented accounts, lead iodide, over Laos, Cambodia, and Vietnam to artificially prolong monsoons, flood roads, trigger landslides, and cripple enemy logistics along the Ho Chi Minh Trail. Congressional hearings in the 1970s confirmed these chemical dispersal operations, sparking outrage that helped produce the 1977 NMOD Treaty, banning hostile environmental modification. These were not fringe experiments. They received massive federal funding and top executive approval. Post-Vietnam revelations confirmed the deployment of toxic substances like lead iodide, now known to cause neurological damage and other severe health effects. Public figures, including Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr., have spoken out forcefully in 2025. Kennedy has called atmospheric aerosol dispersal a grave threat and pledged accountability for any unauthorized programs involving jet fuel additives or high-altitude chemical releases. Independent researchers present laboratory tests of rainwater, soil, and air samples showing dramatically elevated levels of aluminum, barium, strontium, and other metals, consistent with ongoing large-scale geoengineering. The same capability demonstrated in the 1960s and 1970s never truly went away. It evolved. Today, persistent white trails crisscross the sky, spreading out into haze that blocks sunlight and disrupts natural weather cycles. These are not simple contrails. They are engineered dispersions, deliberate poisoning of the atmosphere on a massive scale. This reality is no longer confined to speculation. State legislatures across the country are responding with urgency. Tennessee passed a 2024 law banning intentional chemical releases intended to influence temperature, weather, or sunlight. Florida enacted Senate Bill 56 in 2025, signed by Governor Ron DeSantis, making unauthorized geoengineering a felony, repealing old weather modification permits, and mandating airport reporting of suspicious aircraft modifications. Montana approved Senate Bill 473 in early 2025, outlawing large-scale practices like stratospheric aerosol injection while tightly regulating any remaining cloud seeding. More than 30 states have introduced comparable bills in recent sessions, with active progress in Iowa, North Carolina, Rhode Island, and beyond. At the federal level, the Clear Skies Act, H.R. 4403, introduced in 2025, aims to prohibit weather modification nationwide. The historical record is clear. Governments have poisoned the skies before in the name of control. The trails above us today, the unnatural weather, the documented toxins in our environment, the evidence points to continuation, not conclusion. The question is no longer if they are doing it. The question is how much longer we allow it to continue without full exposure, accountability, and an immediate halt.